Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is your girl Nurse Momo. Today I have with me a very lovely sister. Her name is Priscilla. She's actually joining me all the way from the US to share with us how to migrate from Europe to US as a nurse. So stay tuned. Okay, Priscilla, welcome to my channel.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you for the privilege to allow me to host you.
My privilege too, or my pleasure.
Can you introduce yourself to my viewers?
Okay, I love this part. So my name is Priscilla. I come from Ghana, just like you, and
Yeah.
I'm the USA. I'm currently naturalized as a citizen in USA. I'm a registered nurse. I've had over about 12 years experience as a nurse. I own a consult, UKRN Pathway Consult, and I'm the lead consultant over there. I'm based in New York. I practice nursing. I create content. Oh yes, I'm a YouTuber. I forgot. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please find me, Priscilla, and support us on this journey. We bring information just to assist you. So yes, support us. Subscribe to her channel and subscribe to mine too. So I'm happy to be here.
Thank you so much. So, guys, I'm actually going to leave the link to her YouTube channel at my description button. Also, I'm going to leave the website to her consult as well, so you can find Priscilla anytime. And I know that with her channel, you're going to have all the information that you need. She said something really important. Remember to subscribe to our channels if you haven't done that. Also, share this video and also remember to hit the like button as well. Okay, now let's go straight into this video. Priscilla, can you please tell us the process involved moving from Europe to the US as a nurse?
Okay. So first of all, for anybody who did not school in the USA, you are called an international educated nurse,
Okay.
IEN, or you are called a foreign educated nurse. And before you can work in the USA, you have to do something called credential evaluation, just
Okay.
to prove that your education that you received outside the US matches that of American before you can work in America. That is basically the first step. So if you schooled outside the US, no matter where you are, Asia, Africa, wherever, you'd have to prove that via your certificates you acquired.
Okay.
America has been facing nursing shortage for so long, especially since 2020, 3 years ago when COVID happened. There's extreme need for nurses. That is how come my consult came to be, to assist nurses to achieve this goal.
Yeah.
So there are so many credential evaluation companies, and every state has its own board of nursing.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
There are 50 states, and New York has its own board of nursing, California has its own board of nursing, Ohio has its own board of nursing. So the board of nursing has to tell you which credential evaluation company to use.
Okay.
Because the country is so huge, over 300 million people, every
Yeah.
state is like a country on its own, and the rules differ. And the
Yeah.
rules further differ if you are a foreign educated nurse or an international educated nurse, IEN. So let's
Okay.
say New York Board of Nursing, and they tell you that use this credential evaluation company, CGFNS, then you go by that.
Yeah.
If you go to Ohio and they tell you use the board ERES credential evaluation company, you use that.
You use that.
Not every state accepts every credential evaluation report. So if you intend to use a certain state, you want to start your research from that state.
Yeah.
And they will tell you these are the evaluation companies we are working with.
Yeah.
Go to any of them. Anything outside the box will be rejected. So you go
Wow.
back to the credential evaluation company, and they also have a section talking about international educated nurses. The
Mm-hmm.
way they will evaluate somebody who's schooled outside the US is different from the way they evaluate somebody who's schooled here.
Yeah.
So you want to focus on reading the section that concerns you as a foreign educated nurse. And
Yeah.
they would also go further and tell you what and what you need to bring to them before they can evaluate your education.
Okay.
Mainly, you are doing the credential evaluation is in two parts. You
Yeah.
are doing academic evaluation and also a professional evaluation. And the academic means that you go back to your nursing school wherever you schooled. If you schooled in the Philippines, if you schooled in Nigeria, if you schooled in Tanzania, Uganda, Ghana, you go back to your nursing school. You get your clinical hours and your theory hours. And then your school sends all these documents to the evaluation company that is requesting for it.
For the yeah.
Yes, so you create an account with them, you pay before they give you what to do next. Some you pay before they release the forms. It's that form that you take to your nursing school before
Okay.
they will endorse for you. And then you do another one by going to the Nursing and Midwifery Council of your country. If
Mm-hmm.
you're in Ghana, NMC Ghana is just one. If you're in Nigeria, NMC Abuja is just one. If you're in UK, NMC UK is just one. So I believe every country, Jamaica, you have a nursing board or nursing council. You go there, they have to certify that truly you are a nurse, you went to nursing school, you graduated, you passed your boards, you registered. I know UK, you don't have to take a board, but you have the license. When I mean take the boards, you don't have any license to take after you're done with the nursing school. You have
Yeah.
a license number or PIN number to work with. So they would also write stuff and fill some forms and then mail it to the requesting company in America. And
Yeah.
then they'll take a look at your school and your professional documents and generate a report. And when the report is ready, they send the report to the state that is requesting it. So if you chose New York, they'll send it to New York. If you chose
Yeah.
Ohio, they'll send it to Ohio. And then the board will also look through it. They don't just accept it, they also look through it and see if it's good. And then the state board will give you the approval.
Okay.
It's a lot, it's cumbersome, but I hope I'm breaking it down as simple as I
Yeah,
can.
you are breaking it down.
Good. So they give you the approval and they tell you to go ahead and register to take NCLEX. NCLEX is the
Okay.
US nursing licensure you take. People take NCLEX in Canada, they take NCLEX in Australia and other countries as well. But
Yeah.
it is country specific. So if you are licensed in America, you can only use that license in America. If you are
Yeah.
licensed in Canada or Ghana, you can only that license is limited to the country that gave it that license to you. So if you take
Yeah.
NCLEX in USA, it's limited to USA pretty much.
Yeah.
So then you have to do some FBI fingerprints background check. And when everything is true that you don't have any, you haven't committed any criminal offense or anything, then you take the NCLEX, you register at Pearson VUE. They are the organization that sets up all these professional examinations. When you write your NCLEX, in 48 hours, you get a result, whether you've passed or failed. And that is the summary of it.
Oh,
This process is a lengthy one. I just try to summarize it.
summarize
They are,
it.
yes, they are very, very unique to an individual. Some schools you don't have to do, like UK, most of the schools don't go and give you paper transcripts when the company is requesting it. You would have to send an email to your school and your school will email the company back and forth. I know
Yeah.
in Germany, when you want a transcript from your school, they don't issue it for foreigners to go and use in another country. So that
Yeah.
is also a different ball game altogether. But
Okay.
before you can work in USA, you need to do a credential evaluation.
Okay, so I know that when it comes to like where I'm at, I'll just use Ireland. When it comes to Ireland or UK, we know that you need an English proficiency test. That is the OET or the IELTS. So when it comes to US, you also need the OET or the IELTS. And at what stage do you have to present that?
Okay, very good question. So, as I said, there are so many states. So if you're dealing with a state, you're looking like one country. So some
Yeah,
states require English test, some don't require English test. The most
yeah,
popularly accepted one is what you just said, IELTS. And recently, some states have started accepting OET as well, which is good.
mhm,
So most people try to avoid the states that don't that they try to avoid the states that require English test.
yeah,
For someone like me who came into the US to start my process, I use New York board. New York board does not require you to have an English test. So I've never ever taken an English test in my life and
okay.
I'm an RN. So there are
Oh,
states that require it, there are states that don't require it. But the fact that you did not school in USA and the fact that you don't live in USA, when you write NCLEX and you pass, even if you use a state that requires English test or a state that does not require English test, you would need to still write the English test because you need it for your immigration visa application is when they look at the English test.
okay.
So if you are using New York Board of Nursing and you are living in Uganda, they don't need you to write an English test. But
Yeah,
after you pass your NCLEX, your licential, before you can board a plane to enter America, you would have to do the English test because they'll add it to your NCLEX results and get something called visa screen certificate.
okay.
Before, when they file for your visa, they'll present that visa screen certificate. And before you can get a visa screen certificate, it's a combination of English test plus NCLEX
Okay.
results, and that gives you visa screen certificate. And that's what happens with immigration. I always tell nurses, don't rush to write an English test. They have
Yeah.
expiration date. If your process is
Yes.
taking long, your English test will expire and you
Yeah.
have to write it again, and you've wasted
Yeah.
time, money, and resources.
Yes. Okay. So when it comes to the required band score, when it comes to Ireland, I can easily tell you the required band score. When it comes to UK, I can equally do that. When it comes to US, what's the required band score in the four modules?
Okay, so because I never wrote English test, there's something I never keep in my head. I don't know
Yeah,
it, but I think it's 7. 7 is the total band score,
that's the
and I think
overall.
the overall, and I think you can't get below 6.5. I can't remember. One of them you are allowed to take 6.0, but please confirm the recent one. And next moment will
Okay.
attach it to the screen for you.
I will.
Yes.
I will do that. I will do that. Okay. Okay. I want to ask when it comes to the process, then where does your consult come in?
Okay. So because of everything I've said, because everything I've said is so confusing and cumbersome, that
Yeah.
is where consult comes in. So if you think that I want to go to USA and work, but all these things I don't even know where to start from, I don't know what it's all about, evaluation, what are they saying? Just basically send me a message, enroll, pay, and then we'll do all this paperwork for you. We literally guide you and show you
That
what
is grand.
to do.
Wow.
So if you think you have the interest, but you don't have the time, you don't to do research to be seeing which board will
Yeah.
accept English, which board, it's like a game of chess. Which board does not accept English? Which board will not ask me for house address? Which state will not ask me for social security number? You have to try and figure them all out before you can bring them together. Leave the headache
Yeah.
to my consult. We know which state will accept you. If you're a psychiatry nurse,
Okay.
midwife, or general nurse, we know which state will accept you based on what you study.
Okay.
If you have diploma, if you have bachelor's, we know where to take it to pass. So if this is too much info for you, just pay
Yeah.
a rent fee and then we do everything for you.
Just pay, guys. Just pay, and then you are done.
Yes. It's so stressful. You need an expert because if you make one mistake in the application, it sets you back. They'll be
Yeah.
emailing your school, and unfortunately, where some of us come from, when they email the school, it's gonna sit in that inbox for years. Nobody's
Yes. For
unfortunately.
yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So you did mention registered nurses, midwives, psychiatric nurses. When I was back home in Ghana, I heard that with the US, it's usually favors registered general nurses. So I want you to clear this for us. Can anybody at all, any division at all, apply to the US? Or the US is just looking for a particular division, that is the general nurses. If you can
Okay.
help clear the air, yeah.
Yes. So, um, general nurses, psychiatry nurses, and midwives can apply, get licensed, and work in USA. But
Wow.
there's always a but. The only difference is that you have to write the NCLEX RN. There are two types of NCLEX examinations. There's one called NCLEX PN, NCLEX for LPNs, licensed medical nurse, and there's an NCLEX RN for RGNs. Pretty much in Ghana we say RGNs. It's NCLEX
Yeah.
RN. So you, the midwife, and you, the psych nurse, you would still write the NCLEX RN because
Oh,
yes, you write the NCLEX RN if you want to work in USA. You write a necklace RN and work as an RN. You will not work as a midwife. You will not work as a psych nurse. For you to work as a midwife in America, you would have to do a bachelor's program. That's the 4-year college nursing program. Write NCLEX, apply for a midwifery master's program. Write
wow.
NCLEX after the midwifery master's. Write a midwifery NCLEX before you can practice as a midwife. Unfortunately for us in Ghana and most of the African countries, midwifery is direct. You go to the NTC nursing college from first year or whatever, and then 3 years you come as a midwife. That is not the midwifery route for America. Before you become a
Okay.
midwife, you need a first degree. You need to write NCLEX. You need to do masters. You need to write NCLEX for midwifery. Be licensed as a midwife before you can practice. That is
Wow.
why you cannot use your diploma midwifery in Ghana to practice in America because in America you are not a midwife. But if you still have an interest in working in America, you would have to write the NCLEX meant for RGNs and you have to work in the capacity of an RGN. That doesn't mean that as a psych nurse, you cannot work in behavioral sciences. You can
Yeah.
work there, but you'll be an RN, working in
Okay.
a psych unit or outpatient somewhere, law facility or something, dementia unit or whatever. You work in the capacity of an RGN. a midwife, so you can take an RN job and work in a labor and delivery ward strictly as an RN. You're not going to deliver babies. You're not going to be in catching babies and doing all that. Nope. You only work as an RN, unfortunately. So if you are bent on being that psych nurse or bent on being that midwife, you'd have to get your bachelor's in nursing, to be specific. Do the NCLEX all over again. Get masters in psych, midwifery, whatever you want to do. Write the license and be licensed to practice as such.
So in this case, for overseas nurses in Europe or for nurses in Europe, does it apply to them? For let's say midwives in Europe, for psychiatric nurses in Europe, or international nurses, overseas nurses living in Europe, do they also have to go through the same process?
Okay. So far as your route is how I said it. If you schooled in
Yeah.
UK, you know you did a 4-year bachelor, which is not
Okay.
true, because in UK the bachelor is even 3 years. If you think
Yes.
you did bachelor's and you think you've written NCLEX and you think you've done masters again, which you are in UK, there's no point in writing NCLEX in UK. So basically, for international nurses, it's very different.
Okay.
So if you think that you have a 4-year midwifery, some people have 4-year midwifery license from University of what do you call it? Kwame Nkrumah Tech.
Yeah.
Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, and I understand they do a BSc or bachelor's program where you do midwifery direct for 4 years. Yes.
Yeah.
But they want you to have BSN, bachelor's first. They are two
Wow.
different things. The
Okay.
4-year bachelor nursing that I did at University of Ghana, that I came out as an RGN, they want you to have that. Write
Okay.
NCLEX and then apply for masters in midwifery, and then write another NCLEX again for midwife.
Wow.
So your country wouldn't favor you because it's not structured like that.
Yeah.
So you still have to come and start school afresh if you want to.
Okay.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Unfortunately. Wow. So, from my understanding, let's say if the person comes in, writes their NCLEX and then comes to the US, is the person going to practice as an RGN, just as you said, whilst they prepare to further their education in their specialty before they have to write NCLEX again?
Yes, that is what you have to
Okay.
do. But as I said, they will still need a 4-year bachelor's in
The 4 years.
nursing from you.
That's very important. 4 years. Yeah. That's wow.
It can be 3 years, but first is bachelor's in nursing, where they can see medicine, surgery, psych, pedics, ops, all those things on transcript, and it's been awarded. So the route is very different. So if you really want to be that midwife again, it's very complicated for an international nurse, unfortunately.
Okay. Okay. Okay, thank you. I'm going to move on to a very interesting topic right now. Let's talk about cash. Yeah, Lajan. Okay, so with the US, is the payment based on experience, or you have to start from scratch, just like other countries, or how is it like in the US?
So I always say that there are 2 ways to come here as a nurse. You are either doing everything and coming by yourself, that is self-sponsorship, or you are doing it through an agency.
Okay.
I always vouch or encourage people to do self-sponsorship, even though it's expensive. That is what my consult offers. In that regard, when you do the self-sponsorship and you pass, you have the bargaining power to determine how much you are paid.
Okay.
You'll be reimbursed the NCLEX cost. And
Okay.
they'll give you a sign-up bonus for accepting a job offer between $5,000 to $15,000.
Wow. Just a bonus.
Yes, they call it sign-up bonus. If I sitting here refer you to this facility and you accept the job, I can be paid $5,000 to $7,000 for referring you. That is how
Wow.
the shortage is. Yes. So they'll reimburse you your NCLEX costs. They would file for your visa, they would buy your plane ticket, and then they'll give you a sign-up bonus. Some people give like 3 months free accommodation so you find your feet and all that stuff. So I always say that is why you should do self-sponsorship.
Yeah.
When you go to an agency, the agency pockets your sign-up bonus. You don't hear about it, you don't see it, you don't smell it.
Ah. Okay.
Yes.
That is not fair.
Yes. And because some of them, it's not fair. Because some of them have spent a lot of money on you, they are not going to reimburse your NCLEX cost.
Yeah.
So it sounds to you free. This agency is not taking any money, so free. But they'll pocket your sign-up bonus when you are done. They might have spent $4,000 on you, but they got $15,000 from the hospital they are staffing you with, and they make the profit. So why not? They will offer it free from the beginning, but they know what is at the end goal. This is trade secrets in the business. I don't have to let out. Yes. So self-sponsorship gives you the bargaining power, and then you are able to bargain your position or your rank.
On your rank.
Because you tell them, I have all this years experience. I'll use myself as an example. When I got my RN done, my NCLEX done, became an RN. I applied to 2 jobs.
Okay.
One of them said, we'll start you as a new graduate from nursing school.
Okay.
And the other one said, no, experience is experience. You've had over 7 years experience from your country, and it doesn't matter where you had it. We will consider that and will place you on RN2 level. The positions are numbers, RN1, RN2, registered nurse 1, registered nurse 2. So I obviously went to the one who was going to put me on RN2, and as I speak to you today, I'm RN3. RN3, you have to work for it, project work, case studies, defense, presentations, and all. So I did that, and I have my RN3, and I'm yet to tell the world about the process. I still haven't been processed yet. So you can bargain your position, your number of years, and it counts. But I'm told in other countries that they don't consider your years experience. But self-sponsorship gives you the power to bargain where you want to be placed, how much you want to be paid, what rank you want. Agency just takes you, gives you an offer letter, sign this in 30 days, you have a job here, and you either sign it or not. You cannot tell them the money is not good or the package is not good. They have invested in you. Wow. Yes. So that's it. And salary varies where you are, just like anywhere in the world. Salary varies per state, per the country, the state you find yourself, cost of living of that stage, minimum wage, a whole lot of factors affect salary. And the bigger cities will always pay you a lot of money, and that's how the bills are also extremely high. You find houses you can rent for $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month. Because you're in a big city, because you're in some penthouse in New York City or in the middle of Manhattan, you're gonna pay for it. Meanwhile, that same money, even if you own a house, your mortgage will not even be up to $1,000 a month. So, but the suburbs will not pay you like that. I've done videos of my salary all over, and it's been trending. And I always say I'm not well paid at all because I live in New York State, which people think New York well, but there's New York and there's New York. If I'm in New York City, I'll be earning way more than better. And the same way, I'll be paying way more in bills and taxes and cost of living. But I'm in the suburbs, I'm in a very quiet place. The houses are not too expensive. Cost of living is not expensive. I buy a small food and off I go, and I'll come back and I still have that food to use for 2-3 weeks. I'm not in any traffic. I don't wake up at dawn trying to. It's a very relaxed life, and I think that's what I need at this age of my life. So salary varies, and the sad thing is that if you are already in the system, your salary is small. But if somebody finishes nursing school today, they start them off very high.
Oh, that's not fair.
It's not fair, but every year they do market adjustments.
Oh, yes.
And a whole lot of things happen. So you can find a new graduate today who is earning like me, or even a few dollars more than me.
Wow.
So what people actually do is they quit their job and re-enter the system.
The system.
Yeah, they quit.
Then you can start on a new scale.
Yes, and start on a new scale. But for how many times can you be quitting your job just because you want to start on a new scale?
Yeah. Yeah.
I see somebody on YouTube, new grad, 6 months on a job. She's earning $45 an hour. I have all this years experience, almost 12 years being a nurse. I'm RN3 and I'm not even close to $40. Okay, with my position now, I say I'm a little change short of $40 an hour. But yeah.
Oh.
So salary varies. There's so many weird things that affect salary. Next year, when a new grad comes, they'll get a higher jump. So people want to leave the system and come again. And also, when you become part-time or per diem, you are not working full-time, you earn more than a full-time nurse.
Okay.
And if you miss the commitment hours, maybe the part-time, the clause is that in a month, they want you to work 8 hours and you are done. So after you get your 8 hours or whatever they want you to do, anything else becomes overtime for you.
Yeah.
So they get more money. Shift differential affects your salary. If you're working holidays, weekends, and all that. And evenings and all that, you get some shift differential, some extra points people use to support their salary as well. I think UK or most of Europe, we call it bank hours. We call it shift differentials, working on weekends and all that. Yep.
Oh, okay. Okay. So when it comes to relocation package, is it just the signing bonus? What about accommodation? Do they help with accommodation, transport, anything like that for a new international nurse coming into to the US? They have any package like that?
Yeah, so this varies from agency to agency. One agency can say, I'll give you 6 months accommodation. One agency can say, I'll give you money to cover your accommodation for 2 weeks or whatever. One agency
Yeah.
can say, oh, I can set up the grounds for you to get a car to drive. Then you have to
Okay.
find your own place. So it depends on the agency and the package they are selling. There are so many packages they are selling just to attract you. What I always tell international nurses is that open your eyes. Don't be desperate. Don't see that the money is $30 and convert it to your currency and it's a lot. And it's like, yes, there are other
Yeah.
little clauses in that contract, fine prints that you will not see. If
Yeah.
you break that contract, you can pay back as high as $20,000 to $40,000.
Wow.
Yes, there are so many things that they will use to tie you down that you will not see. So read the contract well. I always
Very
recommend
well.
a lawyer friend, give it to them to go and read because some of the languages are not just English. You need a law eye and sense to be able to read and translate it. So they are
Yeah.
selling more packages, but some of them are self-sponsorship in disguise.
Yeah.
They have all these things, and then when you actually put a calculator on it and you calculate, you realize that they're actually paying like $200 for you, and you are paying 1,002 for the entire process. So you're just short of a little change to
Yeah.
that self-sponsorship,
Mm-hmm.
bargain your 15 years experience, bargain your pay and all that stuff. So beware and also be careful of impersonators and scammers out there. Be careful who
Yeah.
you're paying money to before you
You
run
proceed.
in. Yeah.
Okay. How is the shift system like in the US? They 12 hourly or 8 hourly? How do you guys run it?
Okay, so in the US, when you're hired for the hours, whatever, there are so many things you can be hired for. There are so many weird hours. There's a 3 p.m. to 3 a.m. shift. I have a friend who
Okay.
works, she closes at 3 a.m. There's an
Wow.
11 a.m. to 11 p.m. shift. So they just give you the hours. If you're 36 hours, somebody would like to go 3 12s and have 4 days off. 3 12s,
Okay.
3 days and 12 hours, and they are
Yeah.
home for 4 days. Somebody would like to do 2 12s, that is 24, and do another 8 somewhere and do another 4 somewhere. All that
Okay.
matters is that whatever hours you are hired for, just get it done. If you're
Okay.
hired for 40 hours, some people will do 8 hours for 5 days. Nobody likes that. Nobody wants to be in a nursing job for 5 days. So some people
Yes.
do 12, 12, 12, 36, and do whatever else to balance it out. So nobody
Yeah.
tells you you have to do 12 hours. You actually
Yeah.
put in the app where you do your own schedule by yourself.
Yeah.
There's an online platform you go and you key in the days you want to work.
Wow.
Yes, and you key in the hours you want to work. We use an app called Dimensions. So it's open. You go and key in the days you want to work. You key in
Wow.
your 12 hours, your 8 hours, whatever you want to do. Just make sure that it meets that 36-hour a week that you were hired for, or
Yeah.
that 40 hours a week you're hired for. However you do it, it's up to you. If you want to be doing it 3 hours for 7 days, just make sure you are done by the time
Right time.
the week is over. So
Okay.
we have basically A, B, and C. We have morning shift, we have afternoon, we have evening, we have
Okay.
night. 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. is called evening. I work those hours a lot. I work those hours a lot. I work 11 to 10 p.m. most times. It's an evening hour. So at the evening, I start after 6 p.m. I start getting shift differential for every hour I stay from 6 to 10 or 6 to 11 or whatever.
Okay.
So it's mixed. It's a mixture. Somebody will go in at
Yeah.
6, just do 4 hours and leave at 10 a.m. Somebody will
Mm-hmm.
come at 11, but they are able to stagger it so that it does not inconvenience you. So my
Yeah.
foreign African nurses especially, I don't care about I wouldn't say I don't care, but I'm speaking to people who look and sound like me, people who come from Ghana, Nigeria, Tanzania, Africa.
Yeah.
You should be able to speak up.
Yes.
If they give you a shift that is not working for you, don't say if I say something they'll penalize me. Nobody will
Yeah.
penalize you. Go and
Yeah.
tell them you cannot work those shifts and there's nothing anybody can do about it.
Can do. That's good.
If you can't work the hours, you let them know. If you don't
Yeah.
have a babysitter or somebody to watch your kid, how are you going to work the hours?
Do. Mm-hmm.
So that's why
Yeah.
on orientation they give you 3 months of preceptorship, which is training.
That's
And they let
Okay.
you test. They let you test out all the shifts that exist on that unit or in that hospital or in that facility. They let you test it out in that 3 months.
Yeah.
The first week they can let you do all day shifts, 12 hours. Second week they can let you do 3 a.m. to 3 p.m. They can switch it up, and then by the time you're done, you yourself will know which one works for you, your personal need and your family needs.
Yeah.
So every nurse knows what works for them. There are nurses that are hired solely for weekend nurses. You see them
Oh,
Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. You never see them again until the next Friday.
and that's very flexible. With
Yes.
all you're saying, I can say that the shift system is so
Oh
flexible.
yes. You tell them where you
Wow,
want to work. Nobody can do anything to you. There are
that
nurses
is so
that,
cool.
yeah, there are nurses that are per diem. They come and do evenings and they go. They're hired solely for evenings, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. and they are done. So
Wow.
you tell them what is working for you. If you're going to find coverage for your kids in the morning and you want to do night, yes, it's very flexible. And if it's not flexible, you quit and you go to the next hospital who is desperately looking to pay you
Yeah.
to come to them. There are
Yeah.
so many options. So if this one is stressing you out, you just leave there and go and find another one and start enter the system fresh and get higher pay. So the country is huge. It's over 300 million people. There are so many people who
Yeah.
have like so many
It's
hospitals.
huge. Yeah.
It's it's a huge country. The options are many, and I'll always encourage anybody who wants to do it. No regrets.
Okay.
It's not
Okay.
rosy. We all have our downsides, the crime, gun laws, and all, but it's worth it. It's totally worth
Okay. So when an international nurse or moves like someone moves from Europe to the US, do they are they required to have a work permit? Are there any kind of boundaries with the work permit, the hours of shift they are supposed to do? Are they able to do like bank shifts like we are used to over here? That in Ireland you have to work with your current employer for 2 years before you can after the first 2 years you can now go start your bank shifts. So I just want to find out with that, is it the same as US?
it. No, it's not. The good thing about America and the category of the visa the nurse gets, it's a green card.
Wow.
You are not given a work permit.
Okay.
You are given a green card. You are given a category of visa called employment-based visa, EB3, employment-based visa. You come to the US within 2 weeks, you get a social security number, you get things going, you get a green card. You can keep that green card for 10 years and keep renewing it, or in 5 years, you become an American citizen. This is one of the reasons why I did a video about 89.2 reasons why you should come to America. You get a green card from the get-go.
Yeah.
So with green card, you can do two, three, you all know America people do 2, 3, 4, 5 jobs
Yeah.
until you drop dead, until your body can take or can no longer take. So nobody limits you as to how many hours you can do and all that.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing is that you can't stay in a job when you can't go for a 24-hour shift and stay there till the next
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
There are labor laws that limit the extent to which somebody can go. I know
Yeah.
factories allow 16 hours, and after 16 hours, you have to go. I have worked a 16-hour shift before in a hospital.
Wow.
Yes, but you have to clock out at 15.59 seconds.
Okay.
You don't have to
Okay.
cross into 60
Cross.
hours. Yes,
Okay.
so there's no limit. So most people go and take a second job, and your days off, you go and do that. Nobody tells you how many hours to work. People work 3 jobs.
Okay.
So there's no
Okay.
limit on how many hours you work, so far as your body can take it. Just know that the more you make, the more you pay back in tax returns, and America IRS, Internal Revenue Service, will come for you and take their money from you, no matter where you're hiding.
Wow. 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 Okay, thank you, Priscilla. I'll just wrap up with some few questions now. When it comes to mortgage, we all know that rent is very important. Cost of renting is, I would say, worldwide is now skyrocketing. Okay, when it comes to mortgage for international nurses, how flexible it is for international nurses in the US to secure mortgage?
Oh, it's very flexible. America, all that matters to them is that you have a daily living, you have a paycheck to prove it, you have an appointment letter from your job to show you work. You can walk into any bank empty-handed and have a sit-down talk with them. I want to buy a house, especially the bank through which your salary comes in.
Yeah.
That's why I always encourage once more, and my fellow African brothers and sisters, learn to buy using credit cards. You have to build credits before you can qualify for a bank loan, before you can buy a house, or before you can buy a car.
Okay.
Most of us are from a cash system whereby you are going to buy a house and you are holding all this Ghana cedi and you are going to give to the house seller, or you are holding all this money to give to
Yeah.
the car dealer. and we don't want to have owe anybody. We don't want to have debts. But in America or in an economy like this, owing debts are actually good, and it's a good thing. So when you do get a credit card, you buy on time, you pay in 30 days, you use it, you pay back your debt, you build credit score. It's with that credit
Yeah.
score that you go to the bank, they'll run your credit, see, oh, this person has been paying their debt on time, this person has a nursing job, steady salary coming in every 2 weeks. That's a good thing. You are paid bi-weekly. Some people pay as quick as every week, nursing
Yeah.
salary every week. Then you can talk to the bank and you get a home a mortgage. And the good thing is that there are packages that your facility will be offering for first-time homeowners, that you have a discount because you work as a nurse there. My job offers
Wow.
for first time after working for 1 year, you have the chance to walk into any place, any bank, and say that I want to buy a first time home. I want to be a first time homeowner. This is my ID
No.
card. This is
Yeah.
work, and you get discounts. Unfortunately,
That
the
is.
housing market has been skyrocketing. The interest rates have shot up to 7%. It's not
Mm-hmm.
expensive to buy houses, but if you have a steady income and you have a good credit, you can buy as many houses, you can buy as many cars as you want. Just make sure you're not outliving yourself and you can't afford it. So yeah, it's easy. And it's way
That
cheaper
is.
than renting. It's mortgage is always lower than rent. So there's no point. Just
Yes.
own a.
Yes. Yes. That's so cool. When it comes to moving with your family, do we get to move with our family when we are in Europe and want to move to the US? Do we get to move with our family right away?
Yes. So with the employment-based visa that you get, it
Yeah.
actually covers your spouse and your children that are below 21 years. They can travel with
Okay.
you. The only thing is that you have to pay their visa filing fee or their medicals or their plane tickets. You have to buy them. The employers deal solely with the nurse that they are bringing, and anybody else you are bringing with you, that is going to be on you.
Oh, okay, okay. I want to ask it when it comes to educational development with your employer. Do you have such structures in place that nurses are able to get funds from their employer to be able to further their education and all that?
Yes. So once more, most of the jobs want you to just stay and do that 1 year. After 1 year, there are so many benefits. Tuition benefits. There's travel expense. There are so many
Okay,
packages that they offer, but if you don't read about it, you won't. I just took my
you
time
wouldn't
yesterday
know.
to read about benefits again. If you go to your workplace portal, there are information out there that you can read. So that if you happen to be in a teaching university, I work in a teaching university where we have the university right there, a teaching hospital that has their own university. You can go to school there. There's some courses that are covered. You will still
Yeah,
pay something. Definitely, it's not going to be 100% free. You still
yeah.
pay something. You still owe some student loans here and there. But the good thing is, in nursing, there are so many fields you can specialize in. The options are not limited. You can be a
Okay,
nurse practitioner. You can go
yeah.
into dermatology. You can do anything: oncology, nephrology, nursing, so many fields you can specialize in, and you will always find something at the end of the day. So tuition, yeah. The only thing is you have to back home. You take study leave and sit at home and go to school. Here, no, you will still be working full time, or if you want to be per diem and you have somebody to support you financially, but you still be schooling and working. It's always
Wow,
been like that. You are in school
it's
and you are
always
working.
been like that.
So
Yeah,
everybody's working
yeah.
and schooling. Back home, you
It's
take time.
good.
I'm in school full time
Yes,
or I'm at work full time. This
yes,
you're in
yes.
school full time, you're at work full time, you're combining the two, and they are all working night shifts and they are studying and having assignments done. And I'm like, wow, I don't know how you guys do it. Maybe that's why I still haven't gone to school yet.
Okay, when it comes to health, we know that it's very important. Being an international nurse in the US, do you have any kind of privilege, any discount, any allowance when it comes to your health for yourself and for your family? You know, I'm a family woman, so I always want to ask.
Yes, healthcare in America is expensive, but it is quality.
Okay.
That's why people travel all over the world to have their cancer cured here, to travel all over the world to come to America for surgery and all. That's another one reason why you should come to America, because of the healthcare system. The bills are so high, the bills will kill you. I have a long list of paying. I've been paying one bill for 3 years. I'm gonna be done in May. I was like, finally.
Wow,
Yes. So
finally.
back again to my workplace, I have the health insurance through my job. So I pay some commitment to it. I think I do 100 every paycheck. So we are paid twice. So I pay $200 and it goes into an account that you save. It's like a credit card kind of, and it goes there. So they take that 200 from my account and keep it there. And for the days that I would have medical bills I would like to pay, then I use that card details and give to them to be deducting the payments there, because I'm storing money there.
Yeah.
If you do wear glasses, you can go and use some of that to pay for it. Any Medicare. So I have medical, dental, and vision from my workplace. Those are the insurances. Those are the health, the three aspects of health that I have. So I can go and do eye checkup and all. Some are co-pay. Some you go and pay heavy upfront, and the bill that comes to your house is small. Some you pay small, and then later the bill that comes to your house is big.
Yeah.
But that's not, the American healthcare system is not free. But if you're unemployed, you're on disability, you are over 65 years, there are some Medicaid and Medicaid things that you can qualify for. But we are talking to people, we are talking to young people who are active. So the health will cost you, but you will manage if you're in good health. But if you want quality health, you pay for it. So people travel here to come give birth, to get citizenship for their kids, and they pay cash. So from Africa, and they come here and give birth and pay cash, and that's not a lot of money. That's not easy money to come across. About $40,000 to come and do child labor and go back. It's a lot, but they know why you're doing it. So yeah, it's expensive. The taxes coming from your paycheck are a lot. Wow. Compared to what you have in Europe. We don't have the free maternity, we don't have the free healthcare. You pay for it, but the salary it's up a bit, so you still have some saved.
So you have something too.
You have some
left. You have insurance.
Yeah.
To sign up. Yeah.
So you have some money. You can still pay all that bill and still have something saved. You can still do. You can still travel. You can still have extra money in your pocket for sure.
Wow. Okay. So lastly, I just want to find out, with the pay system, is it monthly, weekly, bi-weekly?
Yes. So it can be weekly. It can be bi-weekly, every 2 weeks. It can be monthly, but no nurse working bedside wants to be paid monthly. So monthly is those who are paid monthly are in managerial positions like nurse manager, administrator, director of nursing. They are salaried. But we that are going to work and coming and doing 12 hours, 36 hours, 2 weeks is even too long. Give me my money every week. Yeah.
Wow.
Nursing homes, they pay, most of them pay weekly and they move on. Yeah.
That's good.
Yes, part-time jobs, if you go for a part-time, they'll pay you weekly. They don't, nobody wants to hold your money. You have bills to pay. America has a lot of bills.
You are paying more, you have lots of bills to pay as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just want you to give us your final words. Why should a nurse from Europe move to the US? What are some of the benefits? What would you say to encourage us?
I have spent about 40 minutes highlighting why you should move to the US, because
I know that.
One, there are so many job opportunities here. Number two, you get a green card. Mm-hmm. You have no limit as to how many hours you have to work. Yeah. You can work as many overtime. You can work 21 hours a day if you choose to, 2-3 jobs, you can. It's a better opportunity because you have a chance to bring your children and your loved ones. As I said, you can come to school. The schools here are great. There are so many Ivy League schools you can enroll in. The system is just built it's enabling. It's an enabling environment. Trust me, it's not 100% perfect. It's not rosy out here, but it's entirely worth it. And I will never tell anybody don't come to America. I would have gone back home if it was that bad. It's not rosy. It's before you get $1, you have to break your back.
Work for it.
You have to extremely work for it. I don't know whether it's like that in Europe, but America,
it's the same. It's the same. You have to work for it.
Okay.
So when you're sending money back home, then you are very careful. You we all work for it. Yes.
You have to work extremely hard for it. You'll be on that job for 30 minutes and you feel like you've been working for 12 hours. It's extreme. You are walking, you are moving about, you are multitasking, your brain is exhausted, your body is totally exhausted, mm-hmm. You're running to attend to this patient. It's a lot before you make that money. It's not easy, but it's worth it. And if you are confused about all these relocation things, speak to a consultant, speak to an expert. It doesn't have to be me. Reach out to people who know what they are doing, and if they can advise you in the right way. I'm here to assist. So as I said, general nurses, midwives, psychiatric nurses. If you want to move to the
link up with
USRM, have a consult. I'll guide you and get this thing done. I didn't have any guidance. It took me 2 years, but now that I know what I know, I've helped nurses in 6 months and they've got this done.
Oh, this is it. But I just want to touch on this last question, because lots of people. Last one, Priscilla, last one. I know that when it comes to racism, it's a very sensitive topic. I know lots of nurses are kind of very careful when coming to the US because we hear this news. This person has been shot. Person has. We hear all sorts of bad news when it comes to the US. And me myself, that kind of deters me when it comes to US. I don't want to go there. How is racism there? What would you say? Is there some state that you say that don't go there, or there are some other things that you can advise in regards to this? I know racism is everywhere, but US is on the high, kind of.
Exactly, yeah. Racism is everywhere. There are 50 states. You can choose one out of them. And before you decide to go with a state, I always encourage people to do research.
Yeah,
Just type into a search engine what population of, if you're black, if you're Asian, type how many percentage of people who look like you are in that population. If you go to
yeah,
a predominantly white state, and you can't find people looking like you, you're going to be sticking out. And
yeah,
even if certain things are not racism, it's just because you did something wrong, because they don't like you, you think it's because they
yeah,
are racist. So
yeah,
watch what you are going to. Some people I know also who are black or Africans do not want to be around any African at all. They want to go to a white community and just have their peace of mind there. So it all depends on preference. Racism is
yeah,
there. I always say the country is so huge and there's a lot of media presence.
yeah.
I say people are dying back home. We just don't hear about it because they are not
Hmm.
celebrities, because they are
Yeah,
not politicians. But here, every neighborhood has its radio station or TV. So as soon as the thing happens, they pick it up and it's out there.
yeah,
There's crime. People are going to schools and shooting innocent kids, and it breaks our hearts. It's very scary living here.
yeah,
But it's solely grace and lack and protection that is keeping us. People are here and they're alive 90 and
yeah.
96 years and they're still making it. But racism exists everywhere. We are even racist or tribalistic to our own cousins or
Our
family members.
own.
Well,
Yeah, yeah.
you just have to choose the state you're going to. And when you go to work, mind your business, do your work and get out of there. Nobody's your friend. America, we don't do that. You do work and they don't even know your surname. Nobody know. They just know your first name and they don't even know your surname. They don't have your phone number.
Exactly.
Your phone number. They don't even know where you live.
Oh,
Yeah. So you just come do your work and go home, and
and go home.
that's how we've been
That's
surviving.
it.
That's how you should adopt as well. If you go making friends, you'll be in trouble.
Thank you so much for the
That is
advice.
not to say that there are no nice people out there. There are, but I
Yeah,
just adopted that and it's been working for me. I'm too
yeah,
exhausted to engage in any drama at this point.
yes. Thank you so much, Priscilla. So you guys have heard it all. Priscilla has given us all the gist, the detailed information about how to move, some of the benefits, and when it comes to racism, she has given us all the essential information that we need to know. Thank you so much, Priscilla. I'm really grateful. You have such a big heart, and anytime I reach out, you are there for your sister. And thank you for the motivation. I
You're
really
welcome.
appreciate it.
Thank you very
Okay,
much.
guys.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you too. Okay, guys, so this is the end of today's video. I hope that this video has been of great benefit to you. If you did really enjoy this video, remember to hit the like button. Remember to subscribe, as we always say. Subscribe to my channel, subscribe to Priscilla Kuma's channel. I'm going to leave the link, as I said earlier on, so that you can equally go to her channel. If you have a dream of moving to the US, that is the right channel for you. Go nowhere. Okay, and I'm also going to leave the link to my Telegram page at the description bottom as well. I'm currently also on Instagram and also on TikTok. That's One. You can equally follow me on that. If you wish to send me an email, you can send that to namobo1@gmail.com, and definitely I'll give you a reply. Thank you all so much for always passing through and always watching my videos. See you soon on my next video.